Hi everyone, I'm back again with another video for you guys to have a good laugh at. And this time we're going to be looking at two of the most prominent flat earthers out there currently today. Now if I had the time, I could make this video last, 5 times longer? But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put you through all that, but I will condense it to just a couple of instances over the past couple of days that's going to show you the intellectual brain cells of these two juggernauts. First up, we have Anthony Riley, a man who apparently has a first-class honours degree in law, who's going to teach us a little bit of history. Now, this is coming from a man that in the past has told his flerf followers that the moon grows to 7 times its size, that the Foucault pendulum experiment happened in the mid-20th century, has taken a stream on a stream, if you know what I mean, and also apparently cured Westy lung with some woo-woo medicine for his dog. The list is endless for the amount of things that this guy has apparently done or claimed. So let's get into this.
Before the Plimsoll line existed, right, there was a problem with boats that were basically laden in England, and this is when we were in our iron age, when we were making all of our boats out of steel and very little wood, but we were making boats out of steel. And what was happening was
boats out of wood first, and then boats out of steel.
That's right, yeah. So we were making boats out of steel in the Iron Age. And what was happening was we could make the boats much, much bigger, and they could carry much, much more cargo because they were much more durable than wood, because timber only lasts for, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. Sure. So we were loving the Iron Age because we were building these bigger, stronger, faster vessels that could basically get stuff more.
Out of curiosity, when is the Iron Age?
Wasn't it? I think from memory, I think it was late 19th century. No, 18th century.
Entry 18th century, Iron Age, 18th century. Okay.
So now, all of his flerf followers are going to believe that the Iron Age happened a mere 150 years ago, and not 3,200 years ago when it actually did. Now, moving on, we're going to look at the most ridiculous, insane thing that I think I've ever heard any flat earther ever say, and that's saying something. Now then, this didn't come from your everyday flerf. No. This came from none other than Nathan Oakley. Now, he holds a PhD in flerf bullshit. He believes that space is fake. He doesn't know the difference between gas pressure and atmospheric pressure. He doesn't believe that there's a molten iron core. He believes that some wonky images of a distant oil rig in some way disproves the radius of Earth. The list is endless with the one and only Nathan Oakley, but today we learned something new. Apparently, he's a bit of a sleuth, and more than that, apparently he's really, really interested in lie detection and the means of detecting lies. And what he's going to do now is he's going to tell his audience exactly how to use a lie detector. Here we go.
Well, they still have that with the lie detector test. That's not admissible in court for a reason.
No, that's slightly different. So yes, in one way, you're 100% correct. There is no lie detector test. There's no means of reading the squiggles that are printed out when they're reading your heart rate and sweat glands and how puckered your asshole is while you're being asked a few awkward questions. The polygrapher or polygrapher is a skilled psychologist, and they're the lie detector. The questions that are being asked and the reactions that the person literally gives off there and then when they're asked awkward questions is what the person who's operating the polygraph machine is looking for. It's the operator that has the skill. It's the operator. It's just a what do they call it in movie terminology? I've forgotten the name for it. There's a name for like a set piece of prop that's not really integral to the plot, like the briefcase that opens up and has got a gold lamp in it in Pulp Fiction. There's a terminology for that. I've forgotten what it's called. But like a piece of narrative that isn't important. It's just to misdirect your focus.
MacGuffin?
MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin. Exactly. The lie detector itself, the polygraph machine, is a MacGuffin. The guy sat in front of you
Hold on.
asking the question is looking at how you react when they say, "Did you kill her?" And you go,
Well, that's like the body language.
"Yeah, but that's precisely what it is."
Specialized in body language.
Yeah,
But not
so-
everyone's the same, so it's inadmissible in court, and it's no different than drilling holes in the head, really.
if you want to get a better idea of this, just so you know how this is applied, it's typically this is interrogation. So I said the other day I'm interested in the criminal psychology thing. That's just my tip at the moment. So, but the whole point of this is the polygraph machine itself. I don't know how we got on this. I don't remember what the last question was, housekeeping wise. Is a MacGuffin. It's not a real tool. You're not going to actually look at something on that graph and say, "Yeah, lying." It doesn't work like that.
Now, after that rather inconspicuous start, he did actually bring a globe earther in who happened to mention atmosphere. I wonder what Nathan had to say about that.
Why Earth atmosphere, and this is what I'm proposing, does not change that premise.
The premise that you're trying to prove, that's begging the question. Air in a sphere shape. You said atmosphere. So you're assuming that gas takes the shape of a sphere arbitrarily? That's not what gas does. The premise that you're trying to prove, that's begging the question. And assuming we have sphere-shaped air? Air in a sphere shape. You said atmosphere. So you're assuming that gas takes the shape of a sphere arbitrarily? That's not what gas does. So assuming space and assuming sphere-shaped air, you're going to go on from there, are you? Atmosphere, you said. That would be atmo, air, sphere. What part of that isn't what you said? That is what you said. So you are assuming, I absolutely assure you, this isn't my statement or my framing, it's what you said. That sphere-shaped air, atmosphere, that's what you've assumed. You've also assumed atmosphere in space. And then asked the question, when you've assumed the very thing you're trying to prove, that's a sky vacuum, why doesn't it do these things when I assume these two things are true? So you've got two problems, that you've assumed sphere-shaped air and you've assumed sky vacuum already before you've done anything. Two begging the question fallacy so far.
Now, Sleeping Warrior and Nathan Oakley have quite the following on YouTube, so I'd like you to leave a comment down below for any flerfs that may be passing and see this video. In the meantime, that'll do for today. If you haven't already subscribed, leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Out of curiosity, when is the Iron Age?
Wasn't it? I think from memory, I think it was late 19th century. No, 18th century.
Entry 18th century. Iron Age, 18th century. Okay.
So, but the whole point of this is the polygraph machine itself. I don't know how we got on this. I don't remember what the last question was, housekeeping wise. Is a MacGuffin. It's not a real tool. You're not going to actually look at something on that graph and say, "Yeah, lying." It doesn't work like that.